So right now, it's just a daycare center.
Yep.
One of our clients, he actually owns the building and is leasing it out to a tenant. And they were getting a bunch of water on the inside. And this lintel that we're replacing is just a part of the problem. So we're actually they had a bunch of roll-out courses there. So we took those out. And the goal right now is to get this lintel out. We're going to replace this lintel, and then we're going to put 2 more courses at the top. As you can see, this thing it's pretty rusted out. Other jobs, if there was a little bit more meat left on the bone, we could have grinded it down and repainted it and saved it. But there's a couple spots where there's holes in it, so we just decided to take it out to make sure that we ain't got to come back to it.
I understand.
10 years in the future. So, yeah, this is going to be a pretty simple project. Take this window out. We have a replacement in the truck. Throw it back in, lay some brick on top, and then do some tuck pointing and a little bit of caulking. We're developing a network of solar-powered, low-income, and transitional housing.
Nice.
It's a wraparound program, so I hire them back into my construction company, offer them mental health services, financial literacy, the whole wraparound. But the most important thing is for them to be employed into my construction company and my other companies, and then also we give them home ownership after about 2.5 to 3 years is the plan.
Nice.
So they start off in the transitional homes. The duration of that is still in the air because we're trying to get funding so they can stay in there longer, get more care. But right now it's 3 to 6 months, and then after that they'll go into the low-income housing. We have them stay there for about 2 years or so, and then sell them the home. If not the home they're currently living in, then another one that's more up to par for whatever their situation is as far as family size and that type of thing. I primarily am going to do this on the east side of Detroit. I feel like we don't get enough love over there. I'm born and raised on the east, so I definitely want to put some love over there. I'm primarily want to focus on the 48213. As a developer, it's a bunch of empty land over there, so
Absolutely.
It's a lot of opportunity.
Yep.
The community needs not only homes, but we need stuff to make it an actual community. Restaurants. I would like more like resource centers, maybe more information. Again, going off that financial literacy.
Okay.
Just things to make it a little bit more comfortable. The plan now is I really want to get connected with nonprofits that visions align with mine.
Okay.
That way I don't necessarily have to build a whole mental health sector, a whole drug awareness or rehabilitation center. I just really want to provide this whole wraparound service for my community.
Understandable.
So right now I'm looking to get with nonprofits that actually visions align, and then we can go from there.
So what actually gets you to a point where you're making that a goal of yours? What's drawing you to that aspect?
Man, that's a loaded question there.
Yeah.
So, I guess first and foremost, man, I'm born and raised in Detroit, particularly on the east side, 48213, where I'm having my focus. So, as a Detroiter, man, a lot of Detroiters have said we just seen it go up and down, up and down. And from what I hear, it was at an all-time up before I was even born. So I would just like to see the revitalization of that, even at least to how it was back when I was a kid. Neighborhoods being communities, people being able to chop it up with each other and go get some sugar for your neighbor, simple stuff like that. But, we don't have much of a community in Detroit no more. It's like, it's just your front lawn and your house, and that's about it. Whereas back when I was growing up, it was more of a community thing. So I want to build back that community feel of the city, because we still got it, but people just don't let it out is readily available. So also, I think that's the biggest thing, brother. I would have to really think about what led me here.
Because this vision is grand, but it also is refined. And
Yes,
so, you've given it a lot of thought.
Absolutely.
To a point where, this is something that is scalable, where,
Yes,
sometimes I come across concepts that are kind of high level.
Yes,
This
sir.
is something that it sounds like you've been planning for a bit. And so now you're at the execution stage.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me about the solar panel aspect of it all, and how does that fit into the overall mission?
Yes, sir. So the way I look at it with the solar panels is, like we say, the east side of Detroit got a lot of rebuilding to do. So I figured if we got to rebuild it from scratch anyway, we might as well rebuild it the right way.
Right.
Rebuild it with a less carbon footprint. Rebuild it to where our tenants can actually not have to pay as much for utilities. That's a big issue, man. We get real harsh winters in Detroit. So what happens is, even in low-income housing, we find that a lot of people have troubles actually just paying their utility bills still. So this will help us be able to give them more affordable utility bills as well. And just to kind of go off of what the last question you said, what led me to this point, with as far as the transitional homes, again, born and raised in Detroit, I've never been incarcerated, but I had a lot of family and friends that were, and I see the issues that they have after leaving incarceration, from the mental health, from the lack of financial stability, can't get a job, can't get a house, it's really tough. And then on the sidebar, a lot of these guys went to jail for probably making a lot of money, so to come out and you can't even work at McDonald's for full time, it's kind of tough. And then you got kids, and so it's a cycle, because I typically see these folks come out of prison with the idea and the intention to do things the better way. But because of lack of opportunities, they get forced to do what got them locked up in the first place. And it's honestly, understandably so. It's about your quality of life overall. Absolutely. So that's not to go on a huge tangent. I just want to give them more opportunities to kind of break this cycle. Because if they decide, if I give them the opportunity, they decide not to take it, then that's up to them. They grown, but at least they got the opportunity. So
absolutely,
we're gonna offer them employment, because POs be on people butt like crazy as soon as you touch down. Offer employment, that's huge. Like I said, financial literacy, and then we a brotherhood. So we're a community. So we talk as men, we learn amongst each other, and then we're gonna get them a house. That's the biggest thing. So, but mostly brick replacement, like things right here, would be some bricks we take out, and then down here would be some more bricks. Like this area here, really? We'll be replacing and taking those bricks out as well.
I see. So how did you even get into masonry? Is that the right word?
Yes, sir. Okay. Masonry.
Masonry. My bad.
You asked some great questions, man. So I initially was going to school for nursing, man.
Okay.
My mom, she got a bunch of stomach problems and stuff. I've been in the hospital with her my whole life, in and out. And I'm like, I want to help other kids like this. Mm-hmm. And when I was getting my associates of science, I got it now. My girl was literally pregnant at my graduation.
Wow.
So
nice.
I had some thinking to do.
Okay.
I'm like, man, I got at least a year and a half left before I get my bachelor's and I can get out in the field. But my son's gonna be here in a couple months, so I just start thinking. I realized that at that point, the city of Detroit gave up a bunch of cash for training of Detroit residents, because they just built the Little Caesars Arena,
right? And
they got like a bunch of money to train us up. So I wound up, like I said, I went to WC3, so I've seen a lot of literature and a lot of advertisement for it. I wound up going to the Samaritan Center and just asking what classes they had. I was actually initially interested in electricity.
Okay.
A lot of people in my family buy and sell homes, so I got to work with electrical wiring a little bit.
Yep.
And their program was out like a year.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have that type of time.
Okay.
So masonry was coming up in like the next 2 months or something at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I looked at it, I just wanted to do something that was impactful in the trades. Electrical and masonry is, structural. Mm-hmm. Most Detroit is masonry. Yeah. So it worked out perfectly. And I wound up doing the pre-apprenticeship through Randolph. The Detroit Training Center was the people who trained me, but we did the actual facility was at Randolph. And it was beautiful, man. I fell in love with it. I've been a brickie since. And then after Randolph, they had job placement. So I wound up getting employed through Construction Services, which is a huge masonry contractor in our area. And I was blessed to come across some guys to teach me a bunch of great tools and tricks and tips of the trade. And I met my business partner. That's where we met too, nice. At Ram Construction. So, masonry I guess it just everything just fell in line as it should.
Yeah.
My My name is Antonio Colley Jr, representing Colley Construction, and you can find us at Colley Construction on Instagram. Just started my Instagram, so I'm trying to post at least weekly. Be patient with me, but go check us out.